Hey everybody, this is Sabrina. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here. I am going to tackle Tuesday. And let me just say, I was so nervous to tackle Tuesday. I know that's ridiculous, but I had such a good time putting together Monday and I just wanted it to turn out as good as Monday. So that's why it took me a few days to get going on Tuesday. But overall, I stuck to the same kind of design that I did before with just grabbing whatever I think works, matching the day's colors with word stickers, and then a ton of stamped phrases. So I added hello to the photo of me dancing. I think that was actually a screenshot, or maybe not. I don't know. I probably did a self-timer, but I was super tired, and so I decided to have a dance party to get myself moving. I also filled out the ING card, and on the left-hand side behind the 6x8 photo of myself, I have a photo of the kids watching Curious George. And I totally forgot that I had journaling for this until later on, and I'll come back and add that in. But Curious George has been really special in our family for such a long time, and the kids love to watch it together. So instead of making them eat at a table, I allow them to watch cartoons in the morning. So I always tell them, you are so lucky to be able to do that. But on the 6x8, I kind of just stacked a mix of different pieces. So I have the craft word that says around here. I also stamped below it, capturing the realness of everyday life, something along those lines. And then the 25 transparency that I had also added to the 24th Monday. So remember, I found a bunch of those transparencies in my stash to use, and so I'm using those up. I went and double checked the colors for this particular day, and it's mainly greens and a light pink. So I grabbed word phrase stickers that work for that, and I added 2 on the side of my 6x8 page. And I will also add a green one up at the very top. The phrases are bliss and life. I love how the family room is totally messy. The cats are there. My workout equipment got left out. It's just a great capture of life. Also stamped "This made me smile," and above that, "Loving this with my whole heart." And I'll go back and add the journaling later on when I get a chance. I did add another pink sticker to the photo of me making lunches to kind of balance out. That way the right side has some pink. So added that in. I had a photo of me at my computer doing a bunch of different projects, so I wanted to add some sort of stamped phrase to that, and I found an Everyday Explorers one that says "Getting Things Done," and I grabbed a label sticker from Allie Edwards and just stamped it right on there, trimmed off the section I didn't need, and stuck it on. So I love how that turned out. I also decided to add above the photo of my selfie a phrase that says "An absolutely awesome day. Remember this." I did have a craft word that said beautiful, but I went ahead and added that to my selfie, and you can see that here. I decided just add it over there. And then I could add this really cool phrase up at the top of my outfit photo, which worked out great. And then I just trimmed off the top of it. There was a small portion that was sticking up at the top, so I'll trim that. And on the back of that is a 4x8 collage that I made using the Pick Frame app. And again, that's just an app that's free, and you go up to the top right corner in the app and you select custom and your sizes that you want. So you want 4 inches wide and 8 inches tall, and then you just put in your photos. And I have 5 photos of me dancing, cleaning up the house, reading my book, cutting something on my Cameo, and also the project that I was working on. I wanted to add in another phrase, daily details. So I got a square label, and the phrase didn't go all the way to the bottom. So I just saved that tiny portion of the label, stuck it back on the sheet, and I'll figure out some other way to use it. And so that way you wouldn't know that I had used only 3/4 of a label. I put the everyday craft word right underneath details. And now you can't tell that I don't have a full label right there. So That's just me wanting to save every little bit. I have this adorable photo of my cat, one of my cats in the window. His name is Tango. And so I used the craft word home and a word phrase sticker that says this moment. Now I'm going to work on my top 3 card. I love this. I love how Monday came out, and I love how I just came up with this idea of doing my top 3 for the day. So the first one is listening to all of my different Spotify playlists, and I used Everyday Explorers. Well, all of these stamps are from Everyday Explorers. I also had currently listening to, and it had a line, so I stamped that. Tuesday is generally our library pickup day, so I grabbed a book with a stamp that says love this day, and I also did a suitcase because my son was packing for his field trip. So that was really fun to kind of dig through my stash and find some stamps that work perfect. I also added a little luggage tag to the suitcase, and that's what I used for my journaling. I thought that would be fun and something a little bit different. Love these cards, they're so much fun. And I also added a word phrase sticker to that photo of my son and the other cat that we have, Chase. That was like 2 seconds before my son was like, oh my gosh, he has poop on his bottom. So it's just funny to add that love sticker, knowing kind of what that secret story is behind the photo. So on the back of this, I have some more photos from the afternoon, and there's a really awesome photo of my daughter and I, and you can't see our heads, but that's kind of the point, because that particular photo, I have been taking that photo since she was really, really small, and when you could see her head, and now she's nearly 10 and you can't see her head. So it's really just a special photo to have. I'm going back to the morning page, and I'm going to figure out how I can add in the journaling. You can see that I had a lot of journaling, or a good amount of journaling, because I wanted to also talk about how Curious George is special to us and how we've watched it for years and years. And even now, my son, sometimes will get in the mood to watch a Curious George, or we'll talk about the silly things that Curious George does. I'd love to know in the comment section if your kids have any shows that are special like that. We definitely do. And Yo Gabba Gabba is another one that we just have a lot of fond memories of. So back to this afternoon page, I also made a 4x4 card for some afternoon journaling and used the words details and day, and then just wrote out so details of the day. For this photo of my daughter, I'm going to put counting my blessings, and then I also wanted to stamp another little, or not stamp, I wanted to add 2 words to the photo of my daughter in the car. Good day. Love using word phrase stickers to make little sentences. It's my favorite. So putting the counting my blessings in between our hands, and I love that. And thinking back, I probably should have added a then photo, so that way it made more sense, the story behind this photo. But that's okay. I could probably do a different project for that, right? So I have this really great dinner photo of us all at the dinner table. Nobody was enthusiastic about photos while they're eating, but they cooperated, and so that's really nice. And I have a word that says dinner, and then I put a label and stamped conversation. So it almost says dinner conversations, and I love how that came out. Also added in a little heart. And on the back of it, I talk about the start of our evening, and I have a craft word that says Tuesday, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. And then something that my family does most nights when we sit down at the table, or pretty much every night that we sit down at the table, is we talk about what was the best part of your day. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp that out with my alphas. And so I have a block of journaling about, our dinner and how dinners are always hilarious, and you never know what silly things the kids are going to talk about, but we just love it. I think I'm probably the one that loves family dinners the most. I just love them. They're the best. So I'm using this typewriter font from Ali Edwards to stamp out what was the best part of your day. And I draw lines with my pencil so that way I can have the words straight and aligned. But you guys, I lost my sand eraser and I'm so mad because I usually use a sand eraser to erase the pencil marks. That works better and there's less chance of smearing. So when I do go to erase the pencil lines, I am going to smear. It's a bummer, but you know what? And I goofed on adding the clear sticker journal because it got stuck to the Y, but so there's a few boo-boos on this journaling card, but that's okay. I'm not going to take the time to reprint it or redo it. I'm just not. You know that's not my style. We just keep moving forward. So the bottom of the journaling is just talking about how we were going into the family room and we were going to watch a new TV show called Blown Away. I was excited to see if everybody liked the show because we are in a weird stage right now where it's like the teenager doesn't like the show, but my daughter does, and then vice versa. So it's always interesting to see what shows everybody agrees on. So my camera cut off for some reason, and it didn't show me putting together that 2x2 card, talking about, what we have for dinner and like what's our favorite junk food. But so that one's all put together, and then I wanted a little floating piece, and I had yes and a chipboard that says real life, but I chopped the S off the yes. So I just decided to go with thankful, fixed that up, added it, and then just put it in my page protector. On Monday, I added something to the back of my floating piece. For Tuesday, I am not going to add something. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it. I also have another 2x2 card that's about my routine with my daughter and how we each read our own books, and then we read a book together. We're working on the Nanny Piggins series, and my daughter loves all the voices that I do, so that's really special. And on the back, I just put a little something about my son and I and how we have good conversations when I go to tuck him in at night. But he may not want me sharing that, so we'll just pretend that I didn't share it. All right, so I added documenting good stuff to that photo of my daughter practicing karate moves on dad. I also wanted to add a few more word phrase stickers to this 2x2. So I went back and added today's story to that fancy outfit my son had to pack for his field trip. And then on the back, I added a green one that says this, because I got photos of both the kids in their rooms after I had said goodnight. So I really wanted to add that. And I did trim a few 2x2 photos. I remember telling you guys in the beginning when I was putting in the photos that I was going to have to go back and trim a lot of the 2x2s. I decided, you know what, it's not worth the time. And if I remember, great. If I don't remember, that's okay too. So I did trim a few, but not all of the 2x2 photos. All right, let's work on this little booklet. I am excited to decorate this. I had a hard time laying down a giant 5x7 piece of journaling, so I'm just going to break it into chunks and lay the chunks down, and that'll make it easier. I still wind up doing it crooked, but nothing gets stuck to the paper, so that is a win in my book. And I love this journal, and I love adding the journaling this way. I will say that next year, if I do decide to do it this way, I won't do dot grid paper because my particular printer, I have a Canon Pixmia, really has a hard time with a lot of fonts, and so a lot of fonts come out smudged. I don't know what that is. I could do more research, but I just haven't yet. So I would not do dot grid. That way the font can be more clearly seen, if that makes sense. So now I'm going to put some more on the back of the first dot grid page, and it just covers all kinds of different little tidbits from starting in the morning when I knew that my main goal for the day was getting my guest storyteller projects done for Allie Edwards, and how we are packing for my son's trip, and even little sister wanted to help, and talking to my son about, cell phones and being responsible with them, and also what my husband and I were doing in the evening, watching a teenage wolf show. It was kind of ridiculous, but that's just what we were watching at that time. Going back to the time page, I'm going to start to look for some phrases for that and add in a few stamped green phrases, because remember, my colors are pink and green. I do not have any pink stamp ink that works great, so I'm just going with green. I stamped doing my best because I'm super tired, having stayed up. I also stamped today's mood and currently listening to, because I wrote in there that I was dancing to music, and I added some music notes. Most of these stamps are from Everyday Explorers. I am going to grab an Allie Edwards one that says current pieces of the story and stamp that, and then I will add in some Z's just like I did on Monday. I think I forgot to add a stamp up by 4 and 5 o'clock, but that's okay. I can go back if I want to and add that in. Now I'm going to do the gratitudes and feelings for today. You can see that I added some marks or jotted down what I thought I could stamp in pencil. That always helps me to know like what kind of stamp phrase to look for. So I appreciate my husband getting off earlier, and it's a nice change in his schedule, so I stamped "It's the little things." And then for feelings for today, I really wanted to be productive despite being tired, so I put taking a deep breath, inhale and exhale. And then I also stamped bedtime reading, me time, peace and quiet. I had this extra 4x6 photo of me like dancing midair or something like that, and so I trimmed it down just a little bit so that way I could have some more space at the bottom to stamp. I stamped "This is good for the soul" and also "currently" in the green ink, and I'll fussy cut that out. I then decided, you know what would be fun is to grab the Everyday Explorers icon stamp set and stamp a few icons from my day. So like going outside, making a project, scissors, listening to music, headphones, working out, thumbs up. Just little things like that that kind of represent what I did during my day. And then I will add the currently up at the top and adhere the photo down, and that's it for this book. Love it. It is so much fun, and I love it. I love making this project, and I'm so proud of myself. I'm 2 days in, you guys. I've got this. I can do this. I've only got 5 more days. I will say that Friday and Sunday will probably be a little bit harder since I did not have any journaling or I didn't write anything down. I wrote some stuff on Instagram, so that'll help, but I've got this, you guys. All right, I'm going to flip to the beginning and show you the full pages. So I have the opening with the vellum, my photo, and then the morning 6x8, and the ING card, some more of my me time, and then going into the afternoon and the top 3, the cute photo of my daughter and I, our dinner conversations, and then the evening and bedtime, and then a 6x8 and my screenshots, and finally my little journal. So I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing Tuesday come together. I would love a thumbs up or a subscribe if you're new to my channel. Have a wonderful day. Bye.